Yeah, Mafia Magazine Radio.
Yeah, this is Solomon Cain from Cleveland, Ohio.
All right, Solomon, what's good, baby? How you?
Oh man, how you doing? Blessed, man.
I'm good, man. Hold on for a second. Let me set you up real quick, all right?
All right.
For all my listeners out there, man, I got the opportunity to sit down, man, with an incredibly gifted artist, man, that goes by the name of Solomon Cain, a.k.a. King Solomon. And we're going to sit down with Solomon for a little while, baby. He's going to let us know, man, what it take for him to make the music that he made. So, Solomon, man, how the industry treating you these days, baby?
The industry has been treating me pretty good over the past year. It seems like I'm finally making a breakthrough.
Yeah, no question, baby. So tell everybody, man, where you originally from and how long you've been doing your thing.
Well, my name is Solomon Cain. I hail from Cleveland, Ohio, 216, home of the champions Cavaliers. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt, son. You know what I mean? So how long you been doing music, man? Let us know that.
Oh man, I've been doing it for about 20 plus.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about, man. There's somebody around this piece with some history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No doubt, baby. So let us know, man. You've been doing your music for 20 years and all that. You know what I'm saying? I want to know, man, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 22 years, or 21 and a third, what inspired you, man, to want to do music? What made you say to yourself, man, not only do I want to do that, but I want to do that really, really well?
Well, what really inspired me was, I come from a musical family to begin with, and music has always been my love.
Right.
And my brother, who was also my mentor, I came up watching him, battle other cats in the studio, making songs, all of that. And I wanted to do it,
Right.
But he pretty much gave me the tools, because I wasn't a freestylist or anything like that, but I was a writer because I wrote journals and things like that. And he was like, look, I'm going to show you how to properly do it. That gift you got, he's like, you're going to turn that into music.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it pretty much came about. I started developing my writing technique and, just listening to, certain artists that influenced me, and that just pushed things along with, my genuine love for music to begin with.
Right, no question. So Solomon, was there a particular artist or a particular sound that basically inspired your sound? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody hears something, and when they hear something, they feel like they like that, and they can do that. You know what I'm saying? Or they can come close to that. So was there anyone in particular, any particular artist, or someone that was not an artist, you know what I mean, that kind of inspired you to have the sound that you have today?
Oh, it was a few artists that inspired me. I mean, we could talk about Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, KRS, Ice-T, Scarface, Coogee Rap, cats like that. Those are the ones that inspired me.
You're absolutely telling your age, son. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let
That's all right, because if you look at me, you wouldn't believe I'm that age anyway.
I get it all day, baby. I get it all day. You know what I'm saying? So you have a real history of what hip hop is really all about. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to kind of liken it the way it was back then to what it is today, man. I mean, give me your thoughts, man, on where the direction you feel like the direction came from to where it is now.
I mean, everything has to evolve. There's always some, degree of adaptation and evolution,
Right.
But if really me, I think right now, I'm being totally honest, it's not like it once was.
No question.
There are no, not taken from these artists now, because, what I'm saying, we felt the same, there were people from generations before us that felt the same way that we do, But honestly, there's no content, no bars, no solid production to me.
Right.
And that's how I honestly feel about I respect every artist in their craft, but that's just not my scene,
Right.
Although there are some young cats that I do like, but there's just to me, there's no heart.
Right.
And I think it's like cats like me that need to preserve that balance.
No doubt, and that's what we're talking about today. So here's another interesting dichotomy that goes to all of this. You come from that history. You come from the history in the days of real hip hop. You've been in the game for as long as you've been in the game, and you've been doing your thing the way you do your thing. But there is a little thing that goes on because you are from Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? And tell me a little bit, man. Give me a little insight on how you feel like the music has evolved in Cleveland or has not evolved in Cleveland, and what your goal is, man, to kind of bring some more attention to the land.
Man, in the land, I'm gonna tell you like this: it is a big melting pot of talent, man. There is so much diversity. There is so many different flavors, man, and a lot of people don't know that. You know, some do, some don't. Right. But Cleveland is definitely next because Cleveland being looked at right now. I know that for a fact.
Y'all definitely being looked at right now. You know what I'm saying? For more than one reason. You know what I mean? But you know, I want you to tell me about the music, man, on how that kind of evolved. You know what I'm saying? And how you feel like, you know what I'm saying, you yourself, man, can kind of bring more attention, man, to the music that you want to be heard throughout the world.
I feel I speak for the true lyricists in this city that aren't getting their proper due or their shot.
Right.
Because this, you know, it's a lot of division, a whole lot of it. It's bad. You know, it took for me to guys like you to recognize that outside of the city, you know, to recognize my talent and my craft. And it's a lot more just like me here. But they don't get that recognition simply because of the division or not being a part of certain circuits, which it shouldn't be like that.
Right. It sounds like something happened to your phone, man. I don't know. You sound like you kind of went out a little bit, or you. There you go.
Right now?
Yeah, there you go. That's a lot better.
Okay, yeah, you know, smartphones are very smart. That's a lot more.
Yeah, you sounding still like we lost you, man.
Oh wow, man, you know that's the smart, man. Let me see if I can, you know, change my location a bit. At first, I call you from the house, man. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you a lot better now.
Okay, smartphones, man. That's not, you know, they're not smart.
Right. So what was one of the first tracks that you did, King, that let you know that this is the life for you?
So that I did, like my song?
Yeah, one of your first tracks that you did that you said to yourself, man, I can do this, and not only I can do this, but I can do this really well.
One of my first tracks I did was a song off my first CD I ever did. The CD was called Free Agent. It's a song I did called My House, where basically I was representing Cleveland. I was like, the land is my house.
Right.
You know, and everyone that heard it immediately gravitated to it. And that's pretty much what set things off for me. It was the whole feel of the song.
Solomon, you still with me, baby?
The whole feel of the song. I did.
Yeah, it seemed like we lost you a little bit, baby. But finish.
Yeah, I'm at the house phone now, so.
All right, there it is, there, man. Go ahead, explain, man, what you just thought that you just had, man.
Yeah, what I was saying was the very first song I did was a song I did called My House, which, you know, basically I was doing nothing but representing on that song. You know, basically in the hook I was saying the land is my house.
Right.
You know, and I was just projecting, you know, how I felt at that time, you know, what I represented, what I stood for, and people in the city just immediately, gravitated to it. It became, a street classic,
Right.
And that's the one song where I knew at that point I was meant to do this because it attracted the ears of promoters in the city.
Right.
And once that happened, that's when I knew, what I was destined to do.
No question about that, man. All right, man, so let's talk about, man, because you got many projects out there, you know what I'm saying? And for those of y'all that's out there, man, you know what I'm saying, whether you know it or not, man, this is live, you know what I'm saying, on Mafia Magazine Radio, you know what I'm saying? It's me and a.k.a. King Solomon going at it, you know what I'm saying? He letting us know, man, what it takes for him to put his in, you know what I mean? And he's been doing this for quite some time, you dig? So right about now, Solomon, man, about how many projects that you got under your belt, man, at this point?
Actually, we talking about street albums and studio albums. We tally that all together. I'm working. I got 11 so far,
okay,
and I'm working on my 12th.
No doubt. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to the new project, man. I mean, I know you got a lot out there. You know what I'm saying? First, let's talk about the project. Let's talk about the single that you're pushing right now called Bad Man. Give us a little insight, man, on where that came from, what brought that about, man, who's all involved with it, and where you expect for this to go, man, and how you look to
Bad Man, definitely, it's definitely a groundbreaker for me. I think out of everything I've ever done, this song right here has garnered the most attention.
Right.
The production was handled by the Architect Lords. I got to give them their due. They made that track bump,
Yeah.
And it's also the track that's off of my forthcoming album called Lone Survivor.
Okay. So I mean, sometimes the title speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I want to know what made you want to call this next project The Lone Survivor?
Well, it's basically based around my neighborhood, actually. Cleveland, St. Clair area, the Glenville area,
Right.
And the neighborhood I come from, when you survive, it's a luck of the draw, really, because everyone, honestly, dropping like flies. It is a kill zone.
Right.
Honestly. And a lot of homies that I grew up with have passed. I would say it's only a handful that I really even truly see now,
right,
and that's ever so often. And that's how the term Lone Survivor came about. That's how the title for Lone Survivor came about, because that's how I feel. That's directed at this neighborhood, this city, but the neighborhood especially. And that's how I feel, like I'm a lone survivor, because a lot of homies that came up with me aren't even here anymore.
No doubt. So that actually brings me to my next question, man, which was actually a great segue to my next question. My next question to you is, how did you stay focused, man? You know what I'm saying, on your music, on your craft, on staying out of all of the pitfalls that happens in the stigmatic environments that we grow up in. Give us a little insight, man, on what you do to stay focused on your music.
Well, music pretty much saved my life.
Okay.
If it wasn't for me doing, the music that I do, doing my music and writing every day, just sharpening my iron,
Right.
It was how I was raised.
Right.
My mother, she was always sharpening her iron.
Mm-hmm.
She was one of them individuals where the odds were always stacked against her, and she always saw through everything. She always fought through everything. And I watched her, and honestly, they talking about how queen can't raise a king. That's not so, because that woman, she contributed a lot to how I am, from, my never say die attitude to my business prowess.
Mm-hmm.
So watching her, she gave me more inspiration than anyone ever could. And more so, the main thing that keeps me going are my children.
Yeah, that's what it is, baby. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and let me just say this, man. You know what I'm saying? When we had the opportunity, or at least I had the opportunity, man, to listen to some of your music, right away I could tell, man, that this cat right here been doing this a minute. You know what I'm saying? You can hear in your voice and the experience that you have from the things you've been doing in the music game up to this point. You know what I'm saying? And I also want to give a big shout out I want to give a big shout out to Tanya Green. You know what I'm saying? She's one of the people
Yes.
that actually kind of put you in my ear. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say, Tanya Green, if you out there, baby, and you listening to us, man, I just want to thank you and saying big shout out to you, man, because you do a lot of things over here at Mafia Magazine, baby. So back to the music, man. You got your single that you pushing. You got your next project that's coming out. How you think this project is going to be received by the masses, man, after people get an opportunity, man, to hear what King Solomon does?
I think it's gonna get its fair, I think it's gonna get its fair and just amount of, the reaction. I think the reaction is gonna be nice. From people hearing Bad Man already saying that song right there alone is like a breath of fresh air for them. Right. And I've heard that like many times. So that's giving them a glimpse of what the Lone Survivor album is going to sound like. And plus, on this album, I'm touching on things that I never really touched on before. The album is very visual. Everything I say on this album, you will be able to sit there and visualize exactly what I'm talking about as if you're there. The stories that I touch on, I always pull from real life situations, but this particular project, it's the realest one I've ever written so far.
Real talk. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad you had an opportunity, man, to say that, because there's some other things that I want you to kind of elaborate on a little bit because of the fact that you've been in the game a little while, man. You are an up-and-coming artist that's been out here a while, but you also are an experienced artist. You know what I'm saying? And you've been through the pitfalls of the game, ups and downs. And so I want you to kind of explain to some youngsters that's out there that might be listening to you today, man, about the business aspect of being in this industry that we in. Give the cats out there a little insight, man, on what it takes to handle your business side of being in this industry.
Being in this industry for any artist, especially a young up-and-coming artist, one of the main important things is have your paperwork in order. Please have your paperwork in order. Have your BMI in order, your ASCAP, all of your copyrights, everything. It's a lot more to it than just going in the studio and recording a song and that's it. Unless you just down for just making mixtapes for your homies to hear, But if you're really serious about this, get your paperwork together, study, read about publishing points, all of that. Get out there, network. I mean, the internet, yeah, all right, it does everything to a certain point, but you got to get out here and make connections with people as well for them to, see you and, hear you, and at the end of the day, always remember one thing. Even if you have a crew that you're involved with, always remember one thing. At the end of the day, it all falls back on you.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. And that's real talk, man, right there. You know what I'm saying? AKA King Solomon. So King, man, what's the optical things we're gonna be seeing for you, man? You got some videos out there that we're gonna be able to see. You know what I'm saying? Give us a little insight, man, on what your video game is gonna be like within the next couple of months.
Oh yeah, there's definitely gonna be some visuals. Right now, I have the video out for Bad Man. That's on YouTube right now. We have I have a Black Wealth Music YouTube, and I also have a King Solomon YouTube. You can access both of those YouTube channels, and the Bad Man video is there. My second joint that I got on the Bad Man maxi single, the song is called Under Oath. It came off of my USC EP.
Okay.
I'm doing the visual for that next.
Right.
And basically those two songs right now, I'm riding for the next few months, making sure everybody gets wind of those leading up to the, release of the album. And I'll probably release one more single prior to the album, dropping.
Right.
And you're going to see me doing a lot of heavy promoting. And also I'm doing a few things like documentaries and things like that. We got a few Cleveland directors that have, things going on, and one in particular, which he has his name is Voodoo Wilson. He has a documentary coming out dedicated to Cleveland hip hop, and that should be out probably in the spring, and I'm in that as well. So for the next few months, it's going to be all about, the Lone Survivor Bad Man campaign, promoting heavy, and that's pretty much what's going on, and you'll see a lot more from me, my Black Wealth family. It's all about family.
No doubt, baby. We got you over here at Mafia Magazine, baby. Ain't no question about that. So here's a question, man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, whether it be 5, 10, 20, 15 years, you know what I'm saying? When you know what I'm saying? When King Solomon is done with his music, or if he's ever done with his music, what you wanted to be said, man, about the type of music and the examples that you put down, man, over the years while you was doing your music in this industry, baby?
I want it to be said that my music is timeless, unique.
Yes, sir.
And furthermore, first and foremost, I just want to be known as the realest dude that ever did it.
No doubt, man. For all my listeners out there, man, y'all got the opportunity, man, you know what I'm saying, to hear my man, a.k.a. King Solomon, man, let you know, man, what it takes for him to put his music in. Solomon, man, before we go, man, I just want to say, man, I appreciate you coming out, man, and spending your time with us for a second or two, you dig? But before we go, man, I want to give you another opportunity, man, to shout out and plug everything and everybody, man, that's helped you get to the place to where you are today.
Definitely. I want to give a shout out to, BWMG, Black Wealth Music Group, my family.
Sure.
Don Pizzle Peterson, the president. Rayshawn Wicks, a.k.a. Ox the Conqueror, co-founder and CEO. The whole family in general, Kickdo Mafia, Lady Meatrice, Jetpack the Pilot. It's so many of y'all. Y'all know who y'all are, And I want to say thank you to all of you. And I really want to say thank you to one person in particular, my business partner, my queen, my friend, Tiffany King.
No doubt, baby. For all my listeners out there, man, you heard it first right here on Mafia Live Radio, baby. Hey, King, man, I want all the listeners out there to stay locked in, baby, because them tracks that we was talking about Bad Man and Under Oath, you going to hear it right here on Mafia Magazine Radio. Hey, man, listen, King, a.k.a. Baby Solomon, man, I just want to say this to you before I go, man. May you always be blessed in everything you do, and may you be blessed and prosperous in everything that you do. You heard?
Thank you, brother. Likewise.
No doubt, baby. Peace.
Take care.